Well, good morning, everybody. Here we are on Thursday morning after a great night of prayer. It was great seeing miracles being done last night and mighty words coming in to encourage people. Really fantastic stuff. So, continuing to read through Isaiah and again through the life of Hezekiah. And I love Hezekiah. I just admire Hezekiah. When the word tells you there was no king like him before or after him, that's saying a lot. There were some tremendous kings. You've got David, Jehoshaphat, and a number of really great kings that stand out. Um, so for the word to say that, something else. He was a reformer. He came in after his father, who was a terrible, terrible king. Um, his father had closed down the temple, and Hezekiah had reopened it and got rid of all the shrines, and Judah had become a really bad place, and Hezekiah was instrumental in seeing things turned around. And it's just great reading about him, great talking about him, and he has this place where the Lord tells him to get his affairs in order, that his time is over. And he cries out to the Lord, and the Lord hears him and gives him 15 more years. And some people say that he shouldn't have prayed for that because his time was up and nothing good came of it. But it's up to us. It's up to us what we do with the time that the Lord gives to us. And when he grants us those things, we can use it for good, we can use it for bad. And I guess Hezekiah just got lazy in the relationship, but he made some mistakes, and he ended up revealing things to the wrong people, the Babylonians, and Isaiah comes in and gives the Lord's word on that, what was going to happen. And here's the thing that we all have faults, we all have weaknesses, all have areas that we need to allow the Holy Spirit to work on, and his place is. Isaiah comes in, tells him what the consequences are going to be for his actions. And he says, well, that's okay, because it's not going to happen in my time. But this is a pronouncement against his children, against his grandchildren. Uh, he's being told that his descendants, his grandchildren, are going to become slaves in the Babylonian Empire. And he says, well, that's okay. It's not going to happen in my generation. And it just shows that he had a weakness in that he didn't have a father's heart. I mean, he did so much for Judah. Incredible. His love for the Lord is incredible. But he lacked a father's heart, because a father would never just shrug his shoulders at that. A father is always working to lay down a good heritage for his children. A father works to lay down a foundation, a good place for his children to work from. A father always desires the best in his children, and a desire for his children to go beyond what he was able to do. And he would never want to see the consequences of his actions being paid for by his children. It's just not the heart of a father. And so we see this in Hezekiah. So that should turn around. We should be able to look at that and say, what am I doing? Because in everything that we're involved in, we should be thinking of our children and our great-grandchildren. We should be laying down foundations. The community, not communities, but the tribes that we're involved in, that we're building. We want to see that they are healthy and strong, not for our sake alone, but for our children and our grandchildren, that they will have a better foundation to build from than what we did. Everything that we're involved with now, we should be considering the next generation. We should be preparing the next generation for leadership and to pick up from where we left off. Not to have to relearn those things, not to have to lay down new foundations, but to have solid places from which to launch from. That should be our heart, and we should be taking care of anything that we're getting wrong. We should be taking care of before they take over. They should never have to deal with our problems. That's the heart of a father. That's what we should be doing. So yeah, I leave that there because that it's interesting to read that, because that's what has really been in my thinking now, probably for this last year, is possessing that kind of father's heart, and not being so concerned about my needs, but what needs isn't the right word. Not being so concerned about building a palace for myself, as you know what David did, where he prepared everything for his son to succeed in the building of the temple. That's a father's heart. He hired all the right people. He gave them all the wealth. He gave them the plans. He gave them everything. All Solomon had to do was put it together. And Solomon went on to incredible things beyond his father. That's what we want to see happen. Just that. So, you have a blessed day. Give that some consideration. And I pray that this day will be a day of adventure. A day where you discover the fruit of the trials that some of you are going through. You be blessed, encouraged.